Perspectives and Facts Podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 23. Your boy Florida Boy Jay, High Life 93.
It's your boy Randy. Y'all know what it is. We back at it. 2-3.
We are here again today with a Power Pack show with, you know what I'm saying, some hot topics. We want to just run down these topics with you really, really quick. The first one, we're going to talk about the NBA 75th anniversary team and, you know, who's on that list, who's left off that list, and who I feel like have certain asterisks by their name who could possibly be taken off of that list. Okay. That's going to be a hot topic, and I feel like that might take up a good chunk of the show, but it's something that's relevant, and I know everybody wants to discuss it because I feel like before that list came out, people thought it was the 75th list was going to be like updated, but they really just added on 25 more players to a 50-player list that was made in, I think, 1997. Yeah. So we're going to also talk about Jackson Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' brother, who did a TikTok dance on Sean Taylor's memorial number on the day they were retiring Sean Taylor's number. We're also going to talk about Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. They had a little
scuffle
situation, you know, a misunderstanding on the sidelines this weekend in a blowout loss to the Suns, and they're 0-2. So that's going to be a good topic. And Eddie Winslow and Sydney Starr, a situation that, you know, we're just going to talk about just because we don't know, you know, what was going on in that situation. First of all, he said one thing. We had images and videos to, you know, leave you up to the imagination, whatever. But, you know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, we're going to get to it, though.
But we're going to get to it. The Jonah Hill, what if Instagram shuts down? Mm-hmm. That's a nice topic because if pretty much the concept that he laid forth of, you know, a certain time of the day where the app wasn't going to work or it was going to turn off and you had to actually go outside and, you know, be social in real life. I think that's going to be a pretty introspective topic. Yep. And also the Netflix activist being exposed as a bigot, maybe a xenophobe and a racist based off her former tweets. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of funny how things come back full circle. You know what I'm saying? When you what do you say in school when you point one finger forward, point right back at you? Yeah, weird shit. Okay, so
let's get it to it. Episode 23, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We back at it.
Hit the like button, subscribe on the YouTube. And before we get into also YouTube, I appreciate we hit 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 1,200. You know what I'm saying? We dropped about 5-6 videos the last 7 days. Dropped about 3 short clips, 2 long form videos. The responses are great. Dropped one this morning. I'm pretty sure I had to drop one this morning about the Meg Thee Stallion Tory Lanez case. So, you know, I just want to appreciate the people on YouTube who's, you know, following the audience and supporting us. So,
yeah, man, we got a lot of things cooking, man. We just want to say shout out to everybody that's been tuning in, staying up with what we got going on. We love y'all. We love to support us. So, shout out to y'all.
So, with this NBA 75th anniversary team.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. So,
what are your thoughts about it so far? The addition. What are your thoughts on? First of all, all my life I thought when they were going to do the 75th anniversary team, it was going to be an updated team. It was going to be okay. We're going to take a Dolce, John Havlicek. We're going to take some of these old guys who we've seen in black and white off. And we're going to add on, you know, we're going to revise the list. You know what I'm saying? Some people who were in the top 10 in scoring and this, and that got moved around. You know, somebody who may have retired 4th or 5th on the all-time scoring list, right? Nowadays, they might be 13th. They might have to get pushed back.
See, remember I sent you a text. It was a list of names that I felt like I was just like, okay, I understand these guys play in a certain era, but it's just like, why are they still on this list? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they should have came out with a more updated list, but
you feel like they should have updated the list instead of adding on,
you know.
But in the concept, maybe we misunderstood the concept. I think the concept might be like we're adding, like, whoever made the list was 95 and up. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to. This is not the 75 best players of all time list.
No, definitely wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you could just tell by the list, certain names that's on there. You're like, yeah, this is not the 75th best. You know what I'm saying? Best players in the NBA.
And by the criteria of who made it and who didn't make it, I'm pretty much thinking that championships was one of the big leads and barometers of why the list was made and who was left on and who was left off. Because
to look at Kobe, LeBron, you know, Tim Duncan, Steph, Wade.
Let's go into tiers, right? I'm gonna break it into tiers, right? the first tier, I'm gonna say it's LeBron, Tim Duncan, LeBron James. At least 4 championships.
You got to throw Kobe in there.
Oh, what did I say?
You said.
I thought I said Kobe, LeBron. My bad. Okay, so it's Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Tim Duncan. I feel like that's kind of like the standard, right?
Yeah, top tier.
Top tier. Steph Curry, I feel like it's behind him. Dwayne Wade, Kawhi Leonard's right behind that, right? And then I feel like then it's the Kevin Durant, the Dirk Nowinski's, the Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Then it's the Kevin Garnett's, the Ray Allens, the Paul Pierces of the world. Then you get into the James Hardens, the Allen Iversons, the Jason Kidds, Reggie Miller, Steve. Because you would think for Tracy McGrady, right? That was one of the main names off that list. Like, why isn't Tracy McGrady on the top 25 list?
Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. T-Mac was, you gotta understand, like, he was so, like, the numbers he was putting up in Orlando, the numbers he was putting up in Houston, the numbers
but if
ridiculous.
But if you add T-Mac on this list, who do you take off? I had an asterisk towards Dominique Wilkins' name, not because of what his talent was. It was just based off of, okay, he didn't go to an NBA Finals. He didn't win any championships. He didn't win any MVPs. He mainly kept one team, Atlanta Hawks, relevant and a contender in the East. Mm-hmm. But it was never the Atlanta Hawks was about to win a championship under Wilkins, right?
Never.
Another asterisk I got by the is Anthony Davis. He's a championship. He won with the Lakers.
He won with LeBron.
But at the same time, how do you put him over Dwight Howard? How do you put him over Dwight Howard? Dwight Howard was the best center. Dwight Howard was the best center for his era, for his generation, from 2000. I want to say from 2000 what?
09, 08.
I'll say from 2007, 8
to
about 2013. Yeah. He was the best center in the NBA. Yeah. And he took his team to the finals. They built a franchise around him, and that was successful. And he beat LeBron James. So I feel like he would have to get put over Anthony Davis. Another person I had on that list was Dame Lillard. I don't understand how you may put Dame Lillard over Vince Carter. I don't see how you put a Dame Lillard over a Trace McGrady at this point, because if you ask me, Dame Lillard is the West Coast point guard version of a Trace McGrady of Vince Carter. You're probably one of the top 3 positional players in the NBA, but you're on such a trash, irrelevant team in a small market. You're never going to get that big name free agent to come to you and play with you. So with that said,
he needs to leave. Boy, that's a different topic.
So Dame Lillard, Reggie Miller's also one. Now Reggie Miller, I'll give him his props because he was somebody. I feel like if it's Dominique Wilkins or Reggie Miller, right? I may have to go Reggie Miller.
I'm taking Reggie.
Because Reggie Miller not only revolutionized the game with his 3-point, you know what I'm saying, with how he shot threes, he kept his Indiana Pacers as a contender from arguably 1994 to 2004.
But you gotta think about it. If Jordan wasn't in the league,
not even Jordan. If it wasn't no Phil Jackson, he might have got a ring because he battled.
He might have got a ring.
He battled Jordan on the East Coast and the Knicks and the Magic, and then once he finally got to the finals, he still had to face Phil Jackson with the Lakers and Kobe. So
there was no winning with Reggie.
And if it wasn't for the Malice in the Palace, or if they just would have had a better game plan in 2004 Eastern Conference Finals when they had Jermaine O'Neal, when they had they didn't even have Steven Jackson yet, but they had Harrington, Ron Artest, you know what I'm saying, Jamal Tinsley, they would have been able to beat them in my eyes. But, that's another person. Who else is on this list? Some people got an issue with Dennis Rodman being on the list.
I don't
have a problem with Dennis Rodman being on the list because I put him, instead of led a team, I put him as helped the team, but he helped the team to 5 championships.
Yeah, think about it. He went back-to-back with Detroit.
And win a 3-peat with the Bulls.
Chicago. So you can't take Dennis Rodman off.
Do you take Melo? Would you take Melo off that list for Tracy McGrady? Who would you take off this list to put somebody on? Who are you replacing on this list? And for the viewers, the list will be up at the bottom of the screen, so people who's watching will be able to see the list and have this conversation in the live chat. Go ahead.
Dominique got to go for Tracy.
Dominique Wilkins for Tracy McGrady?
Yes.
Dominique Wilkins won playoff series though, and went 6 games with Larry Bird in '86 in conference finals.
Gotta go, man. Because you gotta think about it. Tracy, you remember the 7 points in how many seconds? When he did
it was 13 points in 35 seconds.
13 points in 35 seconds. I just remember that as a kid, just like, man, that was ridiculous. Dominique never did that in his span with Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. He got to go. Give me Tracy. Give me Tracy right now. If you was picking a 505, right, and the last pick was down to,
you know, I'm getting Tracy McGrady because
he's a
Tracy
better
McGrady.
shooter.
Thank you.
He's a better shooter.
Thank you. Just as athletic. He's just a better
same
shooter.
size, but one they can do the same thing athletically as far as dunking, but one can shoot and one can't. So I would definitely take Tracy over Dominique for sure.
And what about would you leave Steve Nash on that list?
I would definitely leave Steve Nash on the list just because he had 2 MVPs. What's up?
So what you're saying is you want to take Anthony Davis and replace him with Dwight Howard.
I would definitely take Anthony Davis off and replace him with Dwight Howard.
And you would take Dominique Wilkins and replace him with Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady.
And are you saying Vince Carter doesn't deserve to make this list? And he's done more individually in every statistical category than Tracy McGrady. My thing is, if you make an argument for
rings, right?
This is, to me, the reason why I made this list the way I made it, because it's pretty much based off of your championships first, and if you didn't win championships, did a franchise have you as their key number one star player? Were you the man, and what did you do when you were the man? How far did you take your team as the man of your team? So like I said, Kobe Bryant, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, Dwayne Wade, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Dirk, Giannis, Kevin, Ray Allen, James Harden, Allen Iverson, who is it? Jason Kidd, Paul Pierce, Reggie Miller, Steve Nash, Dame Lillard, Chris Paul, Carmelo, Dennis Rodman, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Dominique, and Gary Payton. The only people I would really take off, like I said, would probably be Dominique Wilkins and Anthony Davis. So if I'm taking off Dominique Wilkins, I'll probably put Vince Carter ahead of Tracy McGrady.
Oh, that's tough.
And I'll say this, just as athletic, played longer in the league, could score just as efficiently.
Did Vince get one with Dallas?
No, Vince never got one, but you were the man with the Raptors. T-Mac left, right? T-Mac didn't want to be there. You went to Orlando. T-Mac did not get out the first round with Orlando. Vince Carter at least got to the second round in 7 games in the 0-1 Eastern Conference semifinals with Allen Iverson, right?
He played out,
And then you went to the Nets. You got to the second round about 2 or 3 years with him and Jason Kidd and Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, J. Kidd.
Tracy McGrady with the Rockets, as good as those teams were, is talented.
Was always hurt, though.
Not only, bro, you never got out the first round. You were up 0-2 in 04 against the Mavericks. You lost against the Jazz in the 07 and I think 07 and 08. So pretty much.
Yeah, it was 07, 08.
Yeah, so pretty much when I break it down to, I'm a big fan of Tracy McGrady, bro, but I'm not going to I can't put him over Vince Carter if I'm being fair.
Yeah, I mean, you can go either way. But yeah, I know what it comes down to. Dominique got to go. he got to go. He got to get off the list.
All right.
So, are we zooming past this, or we gonna keep it pushing?
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about the Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard situation.
Oh yeah, I know everybody's seen this. Is last night, yo. This is crazy.
I feel like Dwight Howard stood up and then Anthony Davis grabbed him. When Anthony Davis grabbed him, Ray John Rondo stepped in the way, and people like grabbed Dwight Howard and restrained him and like brought him down, and people just pushed back Anthony Davis. Now, what are your initial thoughts about what happened in that situation? Like, what do you think happened in that situation? What do you think the fallout is going to be? And what's your overall perspective of the Lakers at this state right now?
Honestly, former basketball player, that's nothing. That happens all the time. That little scuffle there, nothing. I mean, you have those as a team. You're going to have those moments, especially in the heat of a basketball game, right? Emotions are high, emotions are flying. It's normal. It's completely normal. I don't really look into that much. But what I will say is the state of LA right now is not good. 0-2 right now. I just don't feel like we have enough shooting on our team to compete for a championship. That's my problem with the Lakers. You know, we have a bunch of guys that all can create, but when they dish the ball, where is it going to? I mean,
like, who's confidently pulling up for a jump shot?
Who's confidently pulling up for a jump shot?
Outside of Melo.
LeBron can knock it down, Anthony Davis can knock it down, but they're not shooters.
LeBron has to do a lot. When I say a lot to knock down a shot, it has to be kind of set up for him to like, okay, boom, I'm taking the jump shot.
Exactly. He has to feel the ball, get into motion.
Yeah, he's not just coming down court and just pulling up on motherfuckers. Bro.
Or you kick it out to him, he knocking it down. He can knock
if
it
he's
down.
hot,
Yeah.
Or if it's like some clutch shit, he can possibly. You know what I'm saying? But he's just not coming down in the offense and knocking down shots.
We need a Danny Green right now. Like that's what we're missing. We're missing a Danny Green. But getting back to that scuffle, that's nothing, bro. Honestly, I feel like just two power forwards, two big men. First off, you don't grab no grown man in no huddle. That's what you don't do with Anthony Davis. I don't know why he did that, but just don't do that. You just don't know how other players are gonna react. You know what I'm saying? Even though they played together, I just don't. Yeah, I would refrain from that.
All right, my thoughts on it. First of all, I feel like anything that you had to talk about with Dwight Howard in this way could have been handled in the locker room.
Facts.
You didn't have to do this in front of the ESPN, in front of the fans behind you, because you knew if you would have tried to grab him in the locker room, you probably would have got your ass whipped thoroughly.
Facts.
You know, a lot of these players, and when you see professional sports, a lot of these players that, like, you know, shoot the shit on the field or on the court really don't want that smoke in the locker room, by the showers or in the hallway, or at the bus or in the parking lot. A lot of them niggas don't carry that same smoke. And I feel like, you can get a grip of Dwight Howard in the locker room, but you're not. This showed me you're really not a good leader like that. Just because you're getting paid over $250 million, you know, the Lakers are going to give you leeway to, you know what I'm saying, and give you the affordability to kind of move the way you see fit, because you're a leader by pay grade, not kind of by character, right? But as you try to do that and you try to grab up a veteran, a Hall of Famer, a champion, somebody has more accolades than you, how do you literally try to pull rank like that? And then Dwight Howard, even when he got up, he didn't get up in an aggressive way. He just got up like, listen, bro, I'm just going to stand up, because obviously you got some type of energy around you. And then for everybody kind of like rush over to Dwight Howard, I didn't like that. On top of the fact, even if Dwight Howard's playing goofy or his head wasn't in the game, I don't know what the issue is or whatever the fuck it was. I just don't feel like it's how you address it, and you're putting that man's pockets at jeopardy, because you know what's going to happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is all ESPN is going to talk about, and you might get Dwight Howard traded up out of there. And
hopefully not.
And my issue also with it too is, and actually not even with it. What was the second thing I asked you about? The Lakers, right?
Yeah, the Lakers.
Okay. When it comes to the Lakers, they're not playing to their strengths. They keep going small against teams that don't even have centers or their size. They need, when they play basketball, I understand it's a shooting league, but you literally have size. You have a true center.
You have to match up.
But you know how you capitalize on that matchup? You have to feed the big man. What Larry Brown used to do when he started off those Pistons games was he'll feed Ben Wallace about 5 times.
Yeah. Get him going
open in the quarter. Get him going. You can't, your center and your power forward are like your offense and defensive linemen in football. You got to feed the big man. You got to make sure the big man feels good. You got to make sure the big man touches the ball, make sure he understands that he's a part of the offense. You can't be running up and down the court 5-6 times and then throw the ball in the post and expect the nigga in the post to put up a shot. He's out of rhythm, number one. And you can always set up a post shot, like when I say a post shot, like, okay, the offense doesn't necessarily have to pass around the perimeter and set up a shot. The offense can come down the court, and Dwight Howard's a big body. He disrupts. You can throw the ball to Dwight Howard, and he can kick it back out for a shot. But because the Lakers' offense does not run through the big man at all, and you have a DeAndre Jordan, you have a Dwight Howard not getting any touches in the paint, you can't expect them people to play hard or be focused or dialed into the game. You have to feed the big man, and they have enough offensive threat, especially Dwight Howard. He might miss some free throws, but for the fact that you can throw it in there, and the defense has to key in on the interior, it can free up the shooters on the outside. And Frank Vogel should know that. You don't have the shooters to play a Steph Curry offense, so you need to work your offense kind of how Phil Jackson used to work. You need to work your offense inside out. And then once you can work it inside out, you can start getting some more penetration when it comes to Westbrook, or when it comes to Rondo. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they're not utilized. The first 2 games I've seen with the Lakers, they played 2 small teams and tried to play small ball, and they lost those games because you can't play small ball where you're not equipped, and you could have played to your strengths.
Well, they had DeAndre Ayton. Well, they played Phoenix twice, right?
No, they played the Warriors, and the Warriors don't even have James Wiseman. So without James Wiseman, your second overall pick, your center, right? Without James Wiseman, you still beat the Lakers. Without Klay Thompson, you still beat the Lakers. So when James Wiseman's center and Klay Thompson comes back, are the Lakers still, like, do you still think the Lakers are better on paper?
No. We need more shooting.
It's not going to happen.
Flat out.
Honestly.
Flat out. Well, like you said, though, getting back to your topic, like you said, we have to feed inside out. You have to. Think about when we won the championship, right?
Yeah.
Dwight Howard was very featured in our offense. Pick and roll with him and Rondo. Oh my God. Throw the lob. He gonna go get it. He gonna go.
And I was just thinking that I'm like, with a LeBron James, with the Russell
Davis.
Westbrook, with the Rajon Rondo, you telling me it's not Lob City going on right now?
Come on, man. They should be, man. What? They should be leading the league in alley oops, dunks.
Just coming down court, LeBron
fast
James.
Break points.
No look, Pat. You got 3 of probably some of the best passers in the NBA outside of Chris Paul.
LeBron's definitely up there, top 10 assists.
Especially NBA IQ. With Rajon Rondo, LeBron alone, that the IQ's out of control.
Westbrook, Mr. Triple Double. Come on, man. It should be easy. They should be leading the league in fast break point. I'm telling you.
So, like I said, the Lakers are 0-2. It is what it is. Side note, the Chicago Bulls are 2-0. I really like Chicago Bulls. How they're looking right now.
Shout out to Chicago, man.
Lonzo Ball, triple-double.
Yeah.
Caruso balled out. They still got DeMar DeRozan and Zach
I
LaVine.
miss Caruso. He didn't come back to the Lakers, by the way. But
And they still got Larkinen, right?
Mm-hmm. No. Larkin with Cleveland.
Okay, Larkinen with Cleveland. But Zach LaVine was really balling out on that team by himself. You gave him 3 legitimate weapons. I feel like Zach LaVine is going to be a problem going forward.
For Chicago in the East, man, they're going to be a problem. I'm telling you.
All right. Then we're going to go and segue this into the Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah, man. Jackson Mahomes dancing on the Sean Taylor Memorial. How disrespectful
If people don't know who Jackson Mahomes is, Jackson Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes' little brother. He's goes viral on TikTok frequently. You know, there's nothing wrong with going viral on TikTok. There's nothing wrong with being on social media. I mean, shit, that's what we do. We're on social media. The issue people had with him, though, is for the fact that he did his little TikTok dance on Sean Taylor's memorial section, and they were trying to say that the family, well, not the family, they're trying to say that the Washington football team had people in that section that was like the designated family and friends area.
Yeah.
But you should read the room. You should know what it is. You should know what the day is, and you should at least like move out the way or do it somewhere else.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I had the young high thing, fuck my bro and gave him brain. And she expect for
First
me
off,
to love her.
that
I
shit
can
is
never
just
be a lame. I had the young high thing, fuck my bro and gave him brain. And she
Dancing
expect
on the
for
logo.
me to
Like,
love
bro,
her.
this shit
I can
disrespect. Sean
never
Taylor
be a
one of
lame.
the best free safeties ever played the game, bro.
I mean, honestly, man, like,
Man, come on, man.
this is an NFL game, bro. Like I understand. Like I said, I understand. There's nothing wrong with TikToking. There's nothing wrong with dancing.
But take that. What is
But
that?
it's
Juju
the
shit.
wrong place, wrong
man.
time. Like, wrong place, wrong time. Like, you could have stepped to the side and did your little dance. You know what I'm saying? But and Washington is very sensitive about Sean Taylor. Not only Washington, but anybody who grew up in that era about Sean Taylor is very sensitive about Sean Taylor, because Sean Taylor, no matter if he was a Florida Gator fan, a Seminole fan, you like Sean Taylor. No matter if he was fucking your team up.
I'm a Florida State fan, and I was a huge fan of Sean Taylor. Huge fan.
Even when he was with the Redskins, like, we were playing football around that time, like, everybody wanted to be Sean Taylor. Like, people who were kind of scared, when Sean Taylor was kind of prominent, I feel like he was taking the place of Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
When we were coming up, Ray Lewis was that guy when you were a kid to kind of get you hyped up when you played like Pee Wee football. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were, especially on defense, to get you psyched out, it was Ray Lewis. And then when we were coming up kind of middle school, it was like, oh shit, it's Sean Taylor. You know what I'm saying? You know, to take the tape and put it over your face mask.
Yeah,
or he was one of the first ones that kind of made it cool, like to not wear any gloves. You know what I'm saying? Come out there with like no gloves, big ass shoulder pads, face mask.
Clapping niggas.
Just clapping motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like he instilled a lot of courage into youth football, I feel like, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Just being a kid at that time, Sean Taylor was who everybody on defense wanted to be like, right? So, it was just, like I said, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. You just have to know your way, like where you are, what you're doing. I felt like he knew what he was doing, and he wanted to capitalize. And so, yeah, he got what got what he was looking for.
Yeah, and Twitter pretty much got on his ass. They
Facts.
they roasted him
roasted
pretty
the
much.
fuck out this.
They were just pretty much saying, he's an idiot. They were just saying he has no business doing shit like this on the field, which, what I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna roast this dude right now. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like he was pretty stupid for doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you ever seen Patrick Mahomes' wife? You ever seen?
That's another thing, yo.
And we ain't getting on everybody's family, but I'm just saying, Patrick Mahomes' wife, she be on Twitter, she be talking reckless too.
She be talking flagrant.
She be talking reckless too. So Patrick Mahomes, man, just get your people, man.
Get your household in order, bro.
It's kind of like when Steph Curry was popping and Aisha Curry was like popping off. And like, I feel, but honestly, you know what I'm saying? I feel you. Like, if you that nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course. But at the same time, like, bro, like, come on, there's a backlash. Okay, so we're going to go to the Eddie Winslow and Sydney Starr situation, right? And obviously, they were doing some type of promo for some show. And the first images that came out were, I guess, like, they were just, like, taking pictures, right?
It was a photo shoot.
It was a photo shoot. And, in this day and age, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong if you want to take a picture with a trans woman or whatever you want to do. If it's for a photo shoot, it's for a job, it's for a gig, whatever you have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not in the entertainment. We're not Hollywood. It could be for a promo for a show. It could be something. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we see images online and it's usually for some type of future production, right? All right, cool. Eddie, the trolls came out and was like, oh, bro, you know what I'm saying? You fruity, this, and that. And he was like, bro, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? He had the video like he was eating breakfast with his mom. And they're like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all trolls gonna say what y'all want to. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it was video came out here, you know what I'm saying? Where he's pretty much, chilling with her and everything. And it said, the caption is, we couldn't even do this shoot because he got so sloppy drunk on set and embarrassed us. He drunk all his photographer's liquor up. And, he's, getting real touchy-feely.
What appears to be.
It is what it is. This is him. This is Eddie Winslow from Family Matters.
4K.
This is Eddie Winslow from Family Matters. This is Carl Winslow's son. This is Steve Urkel's neighbor.
Facts.
This is Laura Winslow's brother. Right? Okay. Just what you want people to say? Sometimes, listen, I understand when people say, okay, y'all are trolls or y'all making fun, but sometimes you give us room to roast your ass.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
My thing, he tried to go with his mom and deny it, but they got you kissing,
bro. And you was having a good time, bro. You was having a good time.
In
so
4K.
In 4K.
In 4K.
So just want to say, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro. Just
what's evident.
Just live your truth.
Yeah,
Don't get mad at us when we call it how we see it, bro. Like, we didn't even see the first audio. We said what it was. We're like, bro, you getting a little too comfortable. I mean, that's what you like to say that, but don't try to act like that's not what you like and then try to come at people for seeing that the sky is blue on a cloudless day. And then with this coming out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't heard nothing else from Edward Winslow. Darius McCary.
Darius.
Speaking of people in Hollywood, have you seen Vlad interview Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother, Omar?
Yes.
Seen those interviews?
Yeah, I seen one clip. I just seen it this morning.
Which one?
He was talking about why Brad didn't get paid increase. He said he left. What was it?
Smart guy, TJ Mowry.
Yeah, smart guy.
Tell me about that, because I want to tell you something else he said too.
So basically, he said everybody was getting paid kind of the same amount on set. Like, everybody kind of had like a
right. Nobody was an established star when that show dropped.
And Brad said, I'm a smart guy. Like, I feel like I deserve a raise. I'm the main character. And they weren't trying to give him a raise. And so that was the last season. Point blank, period.
What was his opinions of that? Like, what did he think of that?
He felt like bro was right. He was like, he's doing the most. He has the most lines. Like, it's just common sense. If somebody's outworking the rest of the crew, I feel like they should be paid more.
Not only that, I mean, this is Child Star. Nothing's more profitable than Child Star. Yeah, all right, so why wouldn't you just give this man a pay raise? Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to give him what he deserved, honestly.
Yeah, because he definitely carried the show. But one thing, too, I will say that show did have a good cast, because even Omar Gooding, I was watching him talk to Vlad about
hanging with Mr. Cooper.
No. I didn't even see that one yet. I seen him talk about Baby Boy.
Oh, God.
And he was on the set with John Singleton and Ving Rhames and Tyrese, and just pretty much talking about how he had a gang situation go down, and because he's from LA, and he had a gang situation go down where he was at a party and one of his friends got like hit like Sucker Punch pretty much got knocked out, and he never kind of got like the get back from that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
So he kind of was keeping this kind of like this built up rage. You know what I'm saying? Then when he got the role for Baby Boy, he was saying when they were doing kind of like, you know, acting routines or just exercises, when they were like asking questions, sometimes in acting exercises, you are your character, right? Say your character is Jeff, and Jeff has to be a gangster, abrasive, who out the band, right? And us three in this room, we are our characters of the movie, and we're asking you regular everyday questions, but you have to answer them within that character, right? So he was pretty much going at it, you know, very aggressive. You know his role on Baby Boy. If anybody's seen that movie, you know he's pretty much, you know, thug coming at niggas. You know what I'm saying? Doing not like on the old dog shit, but you know, very aggressive. He was pretty much just breaking that down and saying that he pretty much released a lot of his demons playing that role in Baby Boy, or even the point where they stole Jody's bike. You know what I'm saying? And
he played that role really well.
But he was saying that was therapeutic for him to be able to do that on film and not have to do that in real life. You know what I'm saying? And that just kind of was, you know, a testament to, like, you know, actors, you know what I'm saying? People who really get into that business, yo, they really got to go into certain characters. They really got to go into depth. And a lot of these people have traumatic experiences they have to revisit in a role that somebody who may be offering this role doesn't even know. And
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, like, tapped in.
Yeah. Or even on the Fresh Prince thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, when Will was like, oh, why my father don't love me no more, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you may have to go to a place that nobody on set knows, where you have to pull something out, but it may be therapeutic, and it may also be just as traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So also, we want to talk about this Netflix Activist Exposed.
Yes, let's get into it.
So Dave Chappelle released his special The Closer on Netflix a few weeks ago, and the fallout has been from a certain community having an issue with the rhetoric that was on this special. And they have been trying to boycott and mobilize their group to silence Dave Chappelle and pressure Netflix to take the special off. But in the middle of them doing that, the activist Ashley Marie Preston, she's behind the Team Trans Netflix walkout over the Dave Chappelle comedy special, has made a series of problematic tweets in the past. Screenshots of her tweets have been made public, and they have went viral. And they reveal a deep-seated hatred towards Asians and homosexuals. Let me go down here and read this. One of them said, "Bro, I beat the dog shit out of you, furry slipper wearing ass, F-boy. In real life, I'll smash your effing head like a can of A&W root beer, but I'm going to fall back and let you keep pretending for the internet, dick rider." She's also said things about Asians, Latinos, and Asians. I'm not even going to read these on my platform because I'm not getting some, no flags.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, but, I can put these up on the screen also.
So y'all can see the tweets.
Yeah, for the tweets, you know what I'm saying, for the show, so you can see what she's talking about. Talking about more Asian hate, anti-Asian.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
A lot of
let me hold on.
It.
Also, she's been a campaign surrogate for Elizabeth Warren during the presidential campaign of 2020, and in her past tweets, she also issued an apology. She blamed her substance abuse. She said in October 2019, when I guess some of this stuff first resurfaced, she said, "At the height of my meth addiction, I made a series of racially insensitive and homophobic tweets. I wasn't out yet, and I was dealing with internalized transphobia while homelessness in my neighborhood, where I felt culturally inferior. I stayed up for days on end tweeting from an impaired consciousness while shadow boxing with anyone who made me feel lesser than. Although those tweets were resurfaced as a political play, I take full responsibility for my actions and deeply apologize for those I've offended or hurt. I've also apologized to those directly impacted by these developments. At over 7.5 years cleaned sober, I've learned to make amends for my wrongs and take complete accountability for my actions. I didn't have the education, information, mentorship, or cultural competence I have now. I'm also not strung out on drugs, and I have a clear heart and a mind," she also added. So, Randy, what are your...
I feel like everything in the dark eventually comes to the light, right? What was she, an advocate for?
Mind you, this was a black woman, mind you.
Yeah, it's a black woman, so
talk about just going after your own.
Yeah.
Talk about being the head of going after your own.
Your own, yeah.
And then turns out you hate everybody else.
You got skeletons in your closet.
So how performative is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just like people always try to seem like, oh, they're just perfect golden person, but if you look at the tweets, this is how long ago? 2018. That's not that long ago.
Yeah,
you felt how you felt,
and you could have chilled because I mean the Netflix employees staged a walkout on Wednesday, and they accused Dave Chappelle of making transphobic comments. You know what I'm saying? Everything would happen, and they actually took down a sign somebody had that said Dave Chappelle's special is funny. I like it. They ripped his sign down. Right now, this is the community. Right, they ripped his sign down, took the poster of what was said off the sign, so it was pretty much a stick, and then they were saying he has a weapon. So they pretty much defaced his property, assaulted him, and then weaponized their class, and then tried to get the police on the guy who was just saying Dave Chappelle was funny and had freedom of speech. So how are you suppressing somebody else's message while trying to weaponize your place in society, and then getting police called on somebody else just because you don't agree with their message? But this is all during a march and protest for equal rights or transparency or equality. What you see what I'm saying? See how easily you can still get caught up in a mob mentality when you're quote unquote fighting for something righteous. You can still get caught in a mob mentality.
Yeah, everything eventually comes to the light, man.
And like I said before, Ted Soros, the CEO of Netflix, stands by the special, and he said that it's consistent with the kind of content Netflix sees and it seeks to offer to its audience. After his initial memos where he asserted that content on the screen doesn't directly translate to the real world realm, Sandros claimed to have screwed up his response in an interview later, but even so, he stood by his decision to let the comedy special remain as is on his platform. Now, like I've been saying before, his father-in-law is Clarence Avant. Clarence Avant is like the Black Godfather of Hollywood. Clarence Avant is, somebody who Jay-Z strives to be in the entertainment business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can get into his resume for days on days, but I feel like we've already talked about him before on our platforms. He's the main reason why this special hasn't been pulled, because he is the father-in-law of the CEO of Netflix. So he can't go home to wifey and be like, hey, man, I know what your dad said.
But see, that's the thing.
Right.
I think I've seen the comments, like it was recent.
My bad, but compounded with the fame and the notoriety and the profit Dave Chappelle generates for Netflix.
Too much.
Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Too much. Dave Chappelle, he said he was gonna, I guess, link up with Netflix and talk about the comments. But I feel like he shouldn't. For what?
I feel like he's gonna. Not only is he gonna double down. My thing with these situations, sometimes this proves that everything isn't about race. Sometimes it's about money and the bottom line. If somebody is bringing enough money in, their message isn't too far out of bounds, they're going to keep them on the platform, or they're going to find to where some other platform where they can generate as much money and not get the same ridicule of maybe a mainstream audience. Kind of what Donald Trump is doing with his new app. But we'll talk about that next week. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to give out trade information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a stock analyst. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. What did he say on the insurance thing? I am not a lawyer.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
So let's get into some other news.
Much. What we got? The Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
All right.
Said, what would you do if Instagram shut down?
You want to read that out? So you got it.
Yeah. Imagine if Instagram and social media closed every day at 6 p.m. like a shop or office. Would you be forced to meet up and speak to each everybody in your family to present work, go outside, read, make art, music, regular stuff like that? He said, trust me, nobody is as successful as Instagram makes them look, and nobody is pretty as its filters and make them seem. The only healthy and worthwhile comparison is you yourself yesterday versus you today. Focus on that. He said, social media has been perfect, look achievable, so now real has become undesirable. Expecting perfection from life, friends, your partner, your career, from yourself is the enemy of happiness. Instead of perfection, search for balance, contentment, fulfillment, and progress. He said, I'm not surprised that youngsters who binge on alcohol, spend hours scrolling through Instagram, consume so much negative news, survive on junk food, and live off caffeine are getting more anxious. Disregarding your mental and physical diet is a definition of self-harm. I agree with that. Too many people are completely broke because their Instagram lifestyle is too expensive, maintain Fake it till you make it. Remember to save it till you make it. You have to care more about yourself in real life than how strangers feel about you online. I mean, I feel he's spot on. I mean, I feel like a lot of people, even myself, we spend too much time on social media, scrolling, and I feel like that has a lot of side effects on yourself mentally.
I seen on not only the Social Dilemma but other platforms, and they say like going on these social media sites and scrolling like gives you like depression type shit. Mm-hmm. Because while you're going through stories and scrolling, it makes everybody perceive like they're doing better than you. Mm-hmm. And even when you're doing good, you still have like that shadow person like over your back that you feel like you got to impress or appease. Yeah. Or make you feel good, right? You know what I'm saying? Or like you said, keep up a certain image that doesn't equate to anything. On top of the fact, not only if Instagram, but like I said, if social media as a whole closed down, because even when we go into like clubs and spots, right? One thing I would give like anything to pretty much experience is going to the clubs like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s before they had phones. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When the music was good and you actually had to walk up and dance with a female. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But we grew up on the age.
And yeah.
We grew up in that day and era.
But we came on the tail end. Like, think about it. We came around we graduated like 2010, 11, 12 type shit. By the time we start going outside, partying in clubs, we already had phones. Like, it was already like that era. You know what I'm saying? It was already like, that whole dancing, let's grab numbers. Like, that shit was kind of like going extinct.
It was out by the time we graduated.
We don't really go to the clubs, to the bars, and like nobody's dancing with women. No, like dudes don't even know how to dance. It's to the point where it's like you don't know how to dance. You got a little rhythm, or you're a dancer.
It's no in between.
And
right?
I feel like
there's no in between.
20 years ago, like your father could dance and he wasn't a dancer.
Facts.
Like all your uncles knew how to dance and none of them were dancers.
Facts.
But they were all like, when we were growing up, man, come on, I got to teach you how to dance. Because when you get older, you're going to be in spots with women, with girls, and you're going to have to learn how to dance. That was something they were like teaching you, like, listen, you don't want to be dude up on the wall. Now, if you out there dancing, you're a dancer because that's the only way you knew how, you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, all my uncles know how to swing. If you from the South, you know how to swing.
Yeah.
Like, you grab a woman, you swing.
And we ain't even talking about like whooping. Like that's something jigging, you know what I'm saying? That's something we got down in Florida, you know what I'm saying? That's just some Florida shit. Like niggas just gonna do that shit like the right
swinging
song.
Universal.
Right.
People up north swing.
Yeah.
So they don't do that now. You can't, come on, man. It's just a different day and age. But I feel like that he's right though. We should sometimes put the phones down.
Because I got a question. Interact. What were people doing in like 87, right? When you came into the club or a bar, the music's going. Say you just went there by yourself, dolo. You went to the bar, but like, what are you doing? What are you staring at? What are you doing? There's none of this. You can't just fake look at your phone. Like the amount of time people avoid interacting with the people around them just to stare at their phone when there's nothing there to avoid interacting with somebody across from them is like an epidemic.
It's real deal out here.
I'm just saying, like, we'll go to concerts and we'll have the phone like this more than we're actually sitting there enjoying the artist live. Because it's more important that I film this for the people who aren't here than actually me who paid the ticket to see them in my own eyes. You know what I'm saying?
That shit crazy. You just look up and you see all these damn phones, lights at concerts.
And I feel like with the advancement of technology, it removes like the brain cells we need to survive in a sense. So when I say this, back in the day, you had to remember certain phone numbers by heart.
Oh, man, yeah.
Outside of, like, 3 numbers, how many numbers do you know? You know what I'm saying?
You had to remember them bitches, like, for real.
Or when it comes to directions, like, you had to know what street, what corner.
Print that bitch out.
Like, you had to know where you were going. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Printing maps out.
Right. You got family members who are like, these are the directions. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas just called you and told you, you gotta take 3 rights and a left. You turn, that's the roundabout, and you there. Now you just type an address, put in your phone. It's people who travel all around the city, and if their phone went dead tomorrow, they would not know where to go. They would get lost. And they lived here their whole life. They lived in your city their whole life. I know people, dead ass, that can't get from their house to the mall, and they've been going to the same mall since they lived here.
Yeah, facts. They need that
They
GPS.
literally put in the GPS anywhere they go.
But I can go anywhere in Jacksonville without my GPS.
Or certain times you have to read the dictionary or encyclopedia, just certain things that I feel like sometimes are extinct to children, where you would go over your grandma's house or your auntie's. If you had some family member that had a book collection, you might just thumb through an encyclopedia. JAKB. Just might want to just fuck around
Pick
in
up
it.
a new word that you didn't know.
Right. Now with Google and everything being so microwavable, you know what I'm saying, technology coming real fast, I feel like people don't retain the information because they can always go grab the information in a second.
It's a microwave society.
So in a way, it's kind of eroding the societal tools that kept us functioning. And the core main way I see that is just how when we go out in spaces, it's no longer like my niggas is kind of going out and we're going to go find like a group of women and co-mingle in a way. I mean, you still do that. And we, you know what I'm saying, niggas still do that successfully. But it seems like that's not like the primary thing anymore. It seems like you just going out with your niggas and chilling. It seems like the women just going out with they females and chilling. If somebody in your crew like catches vibe with somebody, like that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But like the whole, you know what I'm saying? Like we going out to like dance or just, you know what I'm saying? Like buy some drink. Just do, cause you know, now people drugging motherfuckers and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like girls don't even want you to buy them a drink anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or even when it's like, okay, I'm vibing with this one chick, I might want to take her home. You know what I'm saying? She's consenting. You know what I'm saying? I'm consenting, but she might have a friend that's like, no, because of this day and age and how protective she is.
Alignment of the year.
It's like cop blocking, you know what I'm saying? And she feels like she's being protective, and, you know, that's cool because you don't know, at the end of the day, sometimes we don't know these people, right? So you may be vibing with a chick, and you may think, yeah, she's down, but you don't know. Maybe this is out of her character. Maybe she has had too many. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, in the day, I just see it feels like it's so much red tape around like dating and socializing and going out, and especially sometimes dealing with opposite sex. It doesn't even make it fun sometimes. Like, you know, it's certain memes I see where like, you know, it's like guys dance up on a girl, they like turn around, like, oh, what would you dance on me for? It's me and my girls. They just got their phones out, popping bottles, drinking and shit. It's like, were they doing that
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
30 years ago?
In the era I grew up in, like, we used to go to teen clubs. Yeah, I know. And at the teen clubs, bro, we ain't had no phones, bro.
But look at the transition.
We finding girls, we dancing on them, we all that.
Even in college, look at Juice Jam and Tally.
Oh yeah, Juice Jam.
But that's the transition. When you're younger, it is like you are dancing, like, and you know what I'm saying. It is like, oh, I'm grabbing, I'm catching a lean.
Catching a lean.
You know what I'm saying? It's more social, especially when you're a kid, because you don't know nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Especially a lot of those times you get around those dances or parties or teen clubs, that's your first time actually being in a uncontrolled environment, especially if it's not like at a school dance.
Even fast forward for
nobody's trying to be on it. Back then, number one, back then we didn't have phones like that. And we did, but it wasn't like that. And then number two, that being the first time we're getting out, nobody's trying to be distracted on what's in front of you at that time. Especially like I have a 16-year-old niece. She tells me all the time like it's nothing to do for her age group. Like it's really no teen clubs in the city. Yeah. That doesn't really exist anymore. But what I'm saying is you have a group of kids who don't even have that opportunity to go out to a teen club or a social event to get those social skills up to prepare them for 18 in college and this and that. A lot of these kids don't get to experience the things that made us who we are. You know what I'm saying? And
those things stink.
Because, you know, when we came up, like by the time social media came, bro, we were coming out of high school. So we already knew who we got bullied, we got punched in the nose, it was never recorded. You know what I'm saying? People got jumped in the bathroom, was never recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like, the worst happened, somebody got caught giving head in the hallway, and she got banned from the school for half the year. That always happens somewhere in some school.
Always.
But, you know, you grew up off of the internet. We grew up off of the internet, right? So by the time it came, we just had to build a persona for us as an adult, which wasn't hard based off the foundation you had as a child. Now these kids are getting Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, 6th grade, 7th. Imagine us having those social media sites at that age. Imagine the way you got bullied until you walked through your front door. Now imagine you getting bullied from the time you wake up, you're in your house. Like the bully doesn't like you don't have to go to school to get bullied anymore. You don't have to walk home and get picked on at the bus anymore for certain people. You know what I'm saying? People can literally just harass you. Kids can make fake pages and fake, like these kids are net savvy. You know what I'm saying? They can dox you, they can troll you. Like I said, certain people can't take fights anymore because, like I said, back in the day, if it get put on camera, it get put on camera, but it wasn't that big of a thing.
It wasn't
now
posted on Twitter, Instagram.
Like now, anybody who loses a fight, that shit's going on the internet
immediately.
And then some people not only can't take losing the fight, the embarrassment. Like, it's people that probably have got their ass whooped online like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago who still get reminded of that World Star moment. Like, think about how many people probably have never went to a therapist after getting World Star, and it affects their lives to this day. Or think about how many people got World Star and they went to the trunk on your ass, and now they doing time. Because motherfuckers had camera while they was getting an ass whooping. And that's what social media does. And even rounding this conversation out, even getting on a Clubhouse, right? And the reason why I always sometimes talk about Clubhouse, because I'm always on that platform. We have the #1 morning show, Salute to the Presidential Suites, Don Prez, Whitney J, you know what I'm saying, Shaq, B. James, Kobe, Tony Rome, me. You, like I said, #1 morning show. Like 25 weeks in a row, you know what I'm saying? We shut down the app. But one thing that I always tell my friends and tell the homies is that we need to take what we do off that app. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to redistribute what we do on Clubhouse on Facebook or on Twitter, on Instagram, on, YouTube, because if we don't, they have all the power in our content. We can have a room with 500, 600, 700 people. We can talk to Amber Rose and Benzino. But if that room's not recorded and that room gets ended, who knows we had a conversation with Amber Rose? Who knew we had an interview with Amber Rose? Yeah. Who knew we had an interview with Benzino? Who knew we had Joe Budden in the room? Who knew we had a viral video with Whack 100 if somebody else didn't record that room and put it on YouTube? Who knew we had a room with Tariq Nasheed if that room wasn't already preset by the people I knew was already in the room and modeled with me to record that room and put it on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many good content creators, you know what I'm saying, on that platform, but sometimes I feel like because of the instant gratification era that we live in, and because you can open up a space and have, 500 people in the audience, 20 people on stage, and you're getting that instant gratification, people fucking with you, people talking to you, DMing you, hitting you up. Once that room ends, there's no digital footprint to put that somewhere to, I can come back tomorrow and I can watch this. 2 other people can watch this. 3 other people can watch this. You don't have a proof of concept. One thing about Clubhouse, I always say, bro, they're capitalizing on just raw talent. They're capitalizing on people not knowing business. People are giving up their IP for free on that app every day. They're banning accounts at will. They have people on the insides banning certain black creators. We're not able to have conversations, and it's to the certain point where if you're on that Clubhouse app and you're dedicating time, kind of what I did is I took certain tools, and I was already in the middle of making my podcast, but once I seen what was going on that Clubhouse app and how I could translate, I immediately pressed my foot on the podcast because, I'm going to be on the app, I'm going to be known, but you got me fucked up if I'm talking for free. Number 1, salute the start, and number 2, you got me fucked up if I'm not going to capitalize off the internet. Like, I see what we're going to do. I'm going to make my own platform. So if they take away Clubhouse, I got my own shit. When people see me on Clubhouse, they can go to my own platform. See what I'm saying? And it's like, if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to spend this much time doing something for free, you might as well start, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, and getting more into it and getting a little more dedicated about it, because you're really just going to the park and playing basketball, bro. You're just hooping at this point. You just find a field and just playing flag football, bro. Is nothing to it.
Making no money out that shit.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, salute to all content creators. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all the content creators. Salute to anybody trying to do YouTube or trying to podcast, because at the end of the day, the toughest part about podcasting or YouTubing, honestly, is remaining, like, doing the content, getting the material, getting the right laptop, or like I said, the right studio, or the production that goes into it. And then after you get all the production that helps you create a show, the production after you record, you know what I'm saying? Like doing the titles, you know what I'm saying? Doing the subtext, editing, you know what I'm saying? Cutting, dropping clips, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot into it, but at the end of the day, if you have an audience and you resonate, you should go ahead and do it. Because if you spend so much time watching motherfuckers have YouTube Academy, they have certain programs on Facebook, the monetization programs on Facebook. They just got one up on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Instagram, they turned that to a monetization app. So what you're basically seeing is that they're not selling you on commercials anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're not wanting you to turn on TV and catch what they're showing on commercials. They only really want to catch you on YouTube showing commercials because people pay for YouTube Premium. They want to show you commercials while you're scrolling on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. They want to catch a sponsored promo there. So what anybody should do, if you're a content creator, you should be trying to eat off of where the people are, period.
Facts.
Like I said, you know what I'm saying, with Chelsea with the Stop Capping hat, you feel me? Yeah. Like, she has it online because she obviously sees I can make more money online than setting up a stand and waiting for people to bring me hats. I have an audience of X amount of people. Once I post this goes out to all of them.
Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Stop Capping. Shout out to Chelsea.
Stop Capping hats, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to them. But yeah, shout out all the YouTube creators, man. We're going to keep it pushing. Yep. Hey, let's play that vibe, man. Keep it vibes. We're going to end the show, episode 23.
Perspectives Facts Podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.
All that.
Like I said, we appreciate the numbers. We're going to keep dropping the clips.
Yes, new clips coming soon.
New clips
every week, every day.
Really every day. You know what I'm saying?
We're dropping shit. So please stay tuned, man. We got big shit coming, man.
Just stay tuned. We got big shit coming. You know what I'm saying? Just fuck with us. Perspectives Facts Podcast. You feel me?